Trust, the first one for this year, the first of two. As we haven't met for a long time, can we go around the table with introductions just so we know who everybody is, if that's all right? So I'm Paul Snape, I'm the chairman of this committee. I'm the councillor for Cannock Town Centre.
Kate Loader, County Solicitor, and I'm here today on an observational basis. Thank you.
Bill Hewitt, I'm the County Councillor for Henson and Rawnsley.
Maggie Smart, and I'm with the 14 to 19 Partnership.
Anne Kingman, Head Teacher of the Western Road Academy and also Chair of the Stafford Partnership.
Hi, I'm Alison Matthews, Head of 16 to 18 Participation and Skills at the County Council.
Vanessa Rigby from Staffordshire County Council Legal Services.
Hello, I'm Melanie Stokes, Assistant Director for Treasury and Pensions. We have the responsibility for looking after the finances of the Charity and Trust Committee and also the investment side of the matters. Thank you.
Hello, Ian Turner, Assistant Director for Commercial and Assets.
David Smith, Member for Lichfield Rural South and present Vice Chairman of this committee.
Kirsty Fenton, and I'm the Members and Democratic Support Officer.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, item 1 on the agenda, election of Chair of the Charities and Trust Committee for the ensuing year.
Hi, so following the decisions made at Annual Council on Thursday the 18th of May 2023, it was decided that Councillor Paul Snape would remain as the Chair of the Charities and Trust panel. Thank you.
Thank you. You stuck with me for another year. Thank you. Oh, my computer's just switched off. No. Thank you. Next item, apologies. Do we have any apologies?
We have apologies from Councillor Jay and Councillor Winnington.
Any declarations of interests? I have none. Thank you. Item 4, election of the Vice Chairman of the Charities and Trust Committee for the ensuing year. Kirsty.
Following the decisions made at Annual Council on Thursday the 18th of May 2023, it was decided that Councillor David Smith would remain as the Vice Chairman of the Charities and Trust panel.
Thank you. Congratulations, Vice Chairman, Councillor Smith. Okay, item 5, minutes of the meeting held on the 15th of November 2022. They have been circulated. Does anybody have any comments? Do you wish me to accept them as a true and accurate record? Move it, Chairman. Thank you. All agreed? Thank you. Okay, item 6, Stafford 14 to 19 Partnership Business Plan. It's page 5 to page 50 on the document.
Thank you, Chair. As in previous years, I've worked with Stafford 14 to 19 Partnership to review progress against their business plan and to pull together their operational plan for the coming year. Anne Kingman, the Chair of the Partnership Executive Group, will be able to provide you with a verbal progress update shortly. In respect of the paper for committee, we're recommending that the committee members firstly review and approve the updated business plan for 23-24. Page 28 of the pack shares the progress and achievement over the last year, and page 39 of the pack shares details of the operational plan for the partnership for 23-24. Secondly, we're asking the panel to consider for approval the funding request for to Staffordshire Education missed me words there now. Centre charity, I couldn't read my own writing, for 23-24. The sum of well, I'm not going very well today, £172,528 is requested, which is slightly less than the sum indicated at last year's committee meeting. An underspend on last year's requested funding of £14,340 has offset the higher than originally anticipated rise in salary and other costs, resulting in the sum indicated being requested for this coming year. The breakdown of the areas that the funding support is requested for are detailed in the report. The paper also requests that the committee consider the approval of an indicative sum for 2024-25 of £188,580, subject to the development of a further 5-year business plan. And finally, it's requested that committee consider the ongoing approval of the Assistant Director for Skills and Employability to be authorised to approve the release of the 23-24 funding, subject to successful delivery of the plan.
Thank you. Thank you sorry, for the quality of the report first. I've gone through it, like my detail. It's excellent, so thank you very much. And
Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll just give the quick progress update then. This year has seen all schools within the partnership able to return to offer the full experience of sixth form life. However, challenges presented as a result of the pandemic, such as the cost of living crisis and the increase in social and mental health needs, have remained. But despite this, the partnership has continued to flourish. In September 2022, we saw an increase in the number of students attending Russell Group universities, including Oxbridge, and all students moving on to their next chosen destination. This cohort were the second to benefit from the Raising Aspirations Fund. The Western Road Academy was recently inspected by Ofsted, and this is what the inspectors had to say about the sixth form partnership. The school is part of the Stafford's 14 to 19 partnership, bringing together sixth form students from 5 schools. Sixth form provision is jointly planned by the partnership schools. This gives students access to a wide range of A-level and Level 3 BTEC qualifications. All students also have weekly personal, social and health education lessons. This provides students with a strong support when considering their next steps in education and or employment. Academic studies are supplemented by a range of enrichment activities. Students regularly support the learning of younger pupils, and they lead school clubs and contribute to charitable events. Overall, sixth form provision gives students access to a well-rounded experience in year 12 and 13. Without the support from yourselves, we would not be able to operate as we do and provide such an experience for the young people of Stafford. We have continued to accurately assess income and expenditure and report this to the appropriate bodies. Alternative ways of working have been established for the partnership staff, and this has had a positive effect on their well-being. We've been working hard to raise the profile of the partnership again through more targeted support for potential students and the creation of Aspire groups in lower year groups. Applications for the partnership courses have increased from this September. Our transition programme has been strengthened across the partnership to be inclusive to all courses that we offer. This year we are introducing some taster sessions for year 10 as well as year 11, and there will be more collaboration between sixth form students and those in Key Stage 4 in order to share their experience. A student forum has been established with representation from all schools who meet on a regular basis to share ideas on the sixth form experience. Staff collaboration has also been strengthened through regular meetings. We have offered new courses including Spanish and sport and physical activity, which is a level 3 BTEC from this September. Our quality assurance systems continue to evolve in line with the best practice. They are aligned to address the curriculum and its sequences. Staff development has been more targeted to need, and our data systems have also been enhanced. Many activities and opportunities have arisen as a result of the Raising Aspiration Fund for our more able and our NEET provision, including educational visits and resources. Student staff feedback has been very positive about these experiences, and we're starting to see students moving on to university, particularly the Russell Group. NEET figures across the schools remain low. Careers links continue to evolve. All partners now have access to Unifrog. This is an online platform that allows students to explore the different university courses and apprenticeships they may be interested in, amongst other things. It has enhanced the information, advice and guidance in all years and the UCAS application process. Usage rates across all schools have increased. More enrichment opportunities and student leadership roles have also been possible this year. There is no doubt that this funding will continue to provide effective collaboration and delivery of high-quality courses for the students of Stafford, with successful outcomes for all involved.
Just one little question. Blessed William Howard, it's now under the Paisley Partnership, Paisley MAC. Has it changed at all? Has it helped by becoming part of the MAC? Because I was a Governor Cardinal Griffin, which is now going to join the same MAC, which I was totally against, I'll be honest. But
Yeah.
Has it helped?
Well, I can't comment on Blessed William Howard and what they've done since they've become part of the Paisley MAT, but in terms of the partnership, they still very much so. They're still very much invested in being part of the 14 to 19 partnership, because obviously the way we work closely and collaboratively, they can't sort of suddenly start sharing their provision with Paisley, as it were. So yes. Try and move, yeah, and obviously they would be welcome to do that, but they have no intention of doing that, as far as I'm aware anyway.
Anybody wish? David?
I was so intrigued with reading the report of this.
Do you want to put your mic on, David? Put your mic on.
Sorry. I was so intrigued in reading the report that I didn't look, and I'm sure it's there somewhere in the report, that we have the resources to make the contribution. How much is in the fund?
I was just going to sort of comment on that, Chair. Yes, at the moment there is sufficient funds. At the 31st of March 23, there was 111,000 in the fund. We obviously get about 159,000 income every year. So the two requests that have been made, if we get to the 31st of March 25, will leave a balance of about 68,000. I have had the conversation with the 14 to 19 partnership, because clearly the 188 that they're asking for next year is 30,000 more than the income we get every year. So clearly that's eating into the balance, and they are aware of that. So the business plan for 25 onwards needs to take account of that, because there isn't the funding to support the 188,000 ongoing. But there is enough for the ask for the next 2 years that you're being asked for today.
Anybody else wish to pass any comment? Recommendation: the trustees of the Charity and Trust Committee 2 review and approve the updated Stafford 14 to 19 Partnership Business Plan 19 to 24. The updated business plan this year includes a section, etc. So, as committee members, do we approve? Move. Do I have a seconder? All did agree then? Thank you very much. It's all agreed. Can I thank you then for saving money this year? I hope that throughout the next year we can save a little bit more, so when we do get to 25, there'll be more in the kitty. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the day. Okay. Item 7, Tamworth Youth Centre Fund, pages 51 to 116. Call Ian Turner, please, Deputy Director.
Thank you. Okay, so this one's been here to this committee a few times before. The dates are at the end of the report. And we're here today to kind of note that a change to the object of the charity and the sale of the property to kind of formally agree that. So the principle's been agreed before. the committee agreed to do an application to the Charity Commission. That has been progressed, so you have an appendix and some text in the report around draft revised objectives. They're draft until you agree them, if you do that today, and then they're accepted by the Charity Commission. And also to consider the valuation report, so I'll come on to that in a little bit. And then finally, if the property is to be released, then the lease that the County Council currently holds of the property has to be surrendered as well. So starting at paragraph 5 of the report, there is just a reminder for the committee here that because there's associated county council transactions with adjacent property, it is just a reminder to the committee here that those decisions are solely, the decisions you make today are solely for the benefit of the charity trust, just to make sure that that's all kind of clear. And to do that, of course, the thing about property transactions is quite often, you know, they don't necessarily work in isolation, so properties have to be considered in the context of where they sit, and that is pertinent to the valuation. So initially, we're talking about the revised scheme wording. So as I said, an application was made to the Charity Commission. Vanessa Rigby's done all the hard work on that and can answer any detailed questions, or indeed might have some comments on anything that I miss out. We have included in Appendix 1 the revised scheme for the charity. The main thing here is what's referred to the objects. So the current one is listed in there. It's about leisure time occupation for young people in Tamworth and the surrounding district. And then the revised scheme is listed there, which has been discussed previously, and I believe, Vanessa, we put it forward to the Charity Commission to provide or assist in the provision of facilities for recreational or leisure occupation. Persons under 25 years of age or resident in the area for improving condition of life persons. And then there's another couple of alternatives that came from the Charity Commission in their draft. Sorry, that's the original ones. And the revised ones that we, on paragraph 12 that we've put forward, is to promote social, mental, moral, physical and spiritual well-being of younger residents under 25 years of age in Tamworth and the surrounding district, with the object of improving the condition of life for the same persons. So there in paragraphs 10, 11 and 12, you've got the original ones, some alternatives, and the one that we'd put forward before. So that's what you're being asked to make a decision on. And then the sale of the property. So I'll just remind you why the sale of the property came forward, is because actually the current use of the building doesn't fully support the current objects. And this is where it is linked to other county council property, because you'll be aware that some time ago the county council ended its self-delivery of the youth offer, and then buildings like this were put forward to be run by kind of community organisations or local groups, and that isn't unique to this property. But this one, like other county council properties, has actually suffered to find people who can support the running costs of the buildings and continue the kind of the youth offer, and that's very much the situation in this building. Very little of it is targeted towards young people in the district, and all of that information has been provided previously. So on that basis then, the principle is to release the money out of the capital in the building and to use that, invest that money and to use the income for the benefit of younger people. So to sell the property, there's certain charity rules. They've been explained in previous reports. They are repeated in this one. It's an independent valuation by a registered valuer in accordance with the Charity Act, and that report is in Appendix 2. I think the pertinent point of this is that the registered valuer is signing off the report to say it's in accordance with the Charities Act. Now, the vast majority of the time when a property like this is disposed of, the recommendation from the valuer will be to market the property and sell it on the open market. The link here is that because this is in an area that is going to undergo regeneration by Tamworth Borough Council, and there are other properties in the area, there's what's referred to in valuation terms as a synergistic value, used to be called a marriage value. And as the report says, and the valuation report says, the open market value of the property is assessed at £421,500, but because there is greater potential if it's more than that property, it's an additional £46,750 worth of value if it is sold on a valuation basis. That is the recommendation of the valuer. If it was sold separately, you wouldn't get that much money. So that is what's being presented there. And as a reminder, I did mention earlier, because the County Council's got a lease, a 99-year lease on the property. So I believe at the time of the lease, it was just bare land. The County Council took the lease and built the building on it. But the County Council doesn't have a direct need for it since it ended its youth offer. So we would just need to release that. And that's it really, that's my summary. I just say that sort of at paragraph 27, there is a reminder of that Charities Act process for the disposal of the property. That has been complied with and is stated in the report as being complied with. Thank you.
I think Ian's covered most points. I mean, really the most important one is, in accordance with the Charities Act, you need to be comfortable that the sale price proposed is on the best terms that can be reasonably obtained. As Ian said, with the synergistic value, the valuer is happy that that is the case.
Putting back on your toes, you're the officers who give us the advice. Are you happy it's the best value we can get really from what has been said by Barton and the valuers? I mean, I know it's an open question, but
we can only rely
do you think
on
if we
what the
went
valuer
elsewhere
said.
we get a better value?
So I suppose the other way to say it is, you know, the County Council does this, and the County Council is content to let its property go to the Borough Council on this basis. The County Council's got slightly more freedom, though, in that it can actually take less value because it's for the overall economic good. That's why we've kind of reminded you of the objectives. I think in this circumstance, because of the location, it's clear that there is a synergistic value. Selling it as is in a building that's not in massively poor condition, but it's a kind of dated building. It's not got a lot of use. You know, we're not seeing a lot of demand. The property's been available. Other properties like this are available or have been available over the last sort of 5 or 6 years for people to use, and we don't get much benefit from it. And the reuse of buildings similar to this tend to be for redevelopment purposes. So on that basis, and obviously it's supported there by the valuer, we are happy to recommend that is the best value. Taking a risk of selling it separately on the market wouldn't guarantee that synergistic. In fact, well, it wouldn't deliver the synergistic value. So yes.
David?
Can I just ask, do we know what the state is at the moment of the sale or disposal of the Magistrates' Court? Because the two are largely linked, aren't they?
Yeah, so at the Property Subcommittee last week, the County Council agreed to dispose of the Magistrates' Court to Tamworth Borough Council on a similar basis.
So if we're considering the decision of the Property Committee and what we're being asked to do here, the two are very much compatible. So if we start going off in another direction, we're actually fouling up the possibility of better use of that site.
Yes.
Councillor Hewitt?
No, I'm fine. sorry, I did read. I have a sort of off-the-cuff question, which I read it through, and I don't think it talks about it in the papers. Are there any local objections to this building being sold off?
So part of the process to change to do this change of the charity objectives was a consultation process. So that was presented to the committee before you were a member, and there was I think about half a dozen responses, not very many at all, and there were a couple of people who would prefer not to do it. And did want to retain the building as it was. But as part of the consultation, we were also trying to invite people to come forward to actually run the building for those benefits. So whilst you've got a couple of people saying we'd prefer it to stay as it was, or actually as it was intended, there wasn't anybody actually prepared to do it. So we end up with the problem that it actually doesn't end up delivering the right kind of benefits for the charity. So, sorry, long answer. Yes, there has been a consultation. It was considered by the committee. The majority of people responding to that consultation, which included community groups, by the way. So when I say there's a dozen or so, half a dozen responses, actually a couple of them were groups rather than individuals. So the majority were in agreement with this action.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. The question was based on, we do know when buildings come on for sale that there's suddenly a local group or a local sort of protest group will say, actually, no, we don't. So I'm comfortable that we have, that we're not going strongly against what residents' wishes. It would appear that was the case. Thank you.
Thank you. David?
And I move the officer's recommendation.
Well, there's only me, Mr. Chairman, so I'll happily second it.
Thank you. All in favour then? Okay. The recommendation, we go with the recommendations of the Deputy Director and Vanessa in the report. We approve it. Everybody happy with that? Okay, thank you. Okay, item 8, exclusion of public and press. The Chairman to move that the public be excluded from the meeting for the following items of business, which involve the likely disclosure of exempt information as defined in paragraph of Part 1 of Schedule 12A as amended of the Local Government Act 1972, indicated below.